Today we've talked about how horrifying it would be to take like children's songs and then like re-edit them over horror trailers. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world. This is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on.
My friend.
Welcome to What the Sweet Fuck. I'm Meghan Tonjes.
I'm Nicola Foti.
And you're so blessed.
We're gonna all you what?
That was
The devil?
That was the devil.
That was like ancient language. We're gonna all you what? We're gonna all you what? Like
Yeah.
lost.
Play it back.
We're gonna all you what? We're here to give you all things fuck-worthy. We're gonna all you what?
We are.
That was still hard to come out.
I hate it when it's like, your checking balance today is much lower than you thought it was. Well, that's depressing. That's a lot. You ever like look at a brand deal you got and you were like, oh, you were like so excited you were waiting for it and you're like, I'm gonna be okay, and then you get it and you're like, not gonna be okay, and now the race starts again. What are you here for this week, BB?
I'm here for a bear. Pride Month continues. I'm always here for bears. But this bear broke into a Montana home and took a nap in the closet. But not only that, he deadbolted the door behind him.
That fucking bear has fingers, dude.
My baby.
I respect that bear. I think that family should take that bear in as a roommate.
I know that, like, I would have died, but I would have loved to hug that bear. If I found a bear in my closet, I would have been like,
how many stories do we have to talk about before you stop wanting to hug fucking bears? What's the black and white ones? Pandas.
a panda.
They're so unfortunate. These are bears that don't want to fuck and want to die, and everyone's like, no. And I feel it. I don't want to fuck and I want to die too. Wow, I've never felt closer to an animal in my life.
Fuck your zodiac amble symbol. You might just be a panda.
You might just be a panda.
Where's the panda in the zodiac? That's what I want to know.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about the zodiac.
Oh, we have an unintentional segue?
We do. Unintentional segue alert. For those of you who don't know what an unintentional segue is, it's where we transition to the next part of the show wherein we didn't plan it, but it worked out perfectly. I decided what my new look is going to be. I'm going to start putting a Pinterest board together.
Oh.
I feel like we need to have some kind of like 1950s Grace Kelly little swoop waves. Maybe a little trinket in the hair, and then a series of like very loose, deep V blousey situations with some like cropped pants and a nice blazer situation. Maybe some pearls. I want to look like I jet set the world in very like in creams and whites and like crisp, simple gold jewelry. Just I have a vision.
Wow. Maybe like a nautical moment on a Sunday.
Like any time I could get on a boat or I could be holding a board meeting.
Maybe like this.
A lot of shoulders. That's what I think the next move is.
Wow.
I don't have money for that, but eventually it's gonna happen. I'll grow my hair out longer. We're gonna look a little vintagey, but a little like, ooh, she chose not to have a husband because men are trash. And we admire her, but we're still gonna scorn her in public. Like a little bit of that.
You know, an upcoming perk on Patreon is that we get to style each other. So
wow,
I'll keep that in mind.
Look at the Lord. Everyone tagged me in this clip. They knew that I needed to see it. This apparently is from like, I think the next season of Bachelor or whatever. I'm not really sure. Who cares? Okay, the Australian Bachelor.
Abby. Oh, Matt, lovely to meet you.
What do you think?
I'm a astrophysicist.
Okay, I'm a Gemini.
I'm an astrophysicist. Oh, cool. I'm a Gemini. If that isn't me, I don't know what the fuck is.
Does she think astrophysicist is a sign?
Maybe she thinks it's someone like an astrologer. Maybe that's what she heard. To be fair, half of that's not wrong. To be fair, astrologer, astrophysicist. So maybe
And
she was
I
just
didn't understand
excited.
him the first time he said it either. So you know what?
Whatever, her hair was cute and she was adorable. Her tots were up and I appreciate it. I don't know how Geminis and Leos go together. I don't know anything about that world.
I feel like they're real close, like together on the.
Do you? Because
chart.
one's a fire sign and one's an air sign.
No, I mean, so doesn't that mean like they don't go well together? They're like one sign away from each other.
But I'm surrounded by Libras and Sagittariuses, and I love Libras and Sagittariuses. Maybe Capricorns just don't know how to love. And so, to be fair, you're surrounded by Sagittariuses and Aquariuses.
The only Sagittarius I know, I think, is Michelle.
And that's the only one you need to know, because that is the Genesis.
Oh, and Britney Spears.
That is the alpha. No, okay, that one. I don't know where to say this, but her Instagram videos concern me.
And that's why we have to love her a little harder in 2019.
I do. I love her hard. Justice for Britney.
Yeah.
For sure.
Free Britney.
Can we get the men around her out? All of
Oh,
them.
not the hot one. The hot one can
Okay.
stay. Oh, yeah, he is. Wow.
I texted Nikki yesterday with one statement, and I said, I'm talking about Taylor Swift tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
I think before I speak about this, I need to briefly address my history of talking about Taylor Swift, which, to be fair, has not been the most positive. I wouldn't say... I don't feel like a bully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What I do feel like is an opinionated person on... I may have been, pro Kim releasing those. I remember where I was when Kim dropped the recordings. I was in a bath and I signed up. I think I had Snapchat, but I hadn't used it in a minute. And I literally went and I was like, what's everyone why are snake emojis happening? And I just I went and found. I've gone through a lot of personal inventory, some inner therapy, to realize maybe why I feel the way I do, which is maybe it's an evil Sagittarius. Don't know. Sagittarius is you either love them, but you can't trust them.
It's either one or the other.
It's either they're great or they're the worst. There's only two options. Maybe it's that. But I think what it is, I think she reminds me of a roommate I had.
And that happens. Someone could just remind
I think
you.
that is what it is. Freshman year of college, we didn't have to go to math class. There was no requirement, but there was a test. And so I didn't show up for most of it. So I just need to know the chapters the test was on. She wouldn't tell me the chapters the test was on as to prove a point as to why you should go to class. And so in the middle of the hallway, I asked her what Jesus would do. We were at a Jesuit college. I just have a question what the Lord would do in this. Do you think Jesus would give me the
simple
chapters?
question.
I don't need your notes, bitch. I just need to know the chapters. So I think that's what it is. I think there's just sometimes people just remind you of someone and there's a similarity that just puts you on high alert. I also don't think that Taylor Swift's music is for me, and that's not fuck that music. I understand the appeal of it. I've definitely heard some of the older stuff and I'm like, okay, I like this. But it's just not for me. I don't think that everyone has to be for everyone. All that to say that yesterday Taylor Swift came out and talked about how, I guess, let me do a quick breakdown.
Yeah.
She was at a record label for a long time where all of her major albums came out. She decided to go and sign with someone else. At that point, she knew that the only way she could keep hold of her masters or be involved in that was to stay with the current record company, and for every album she released, she would get an old one back. It's 6 albums she's got to crank out to get her old ones back. And also, to me, that doesn't... it's an interesting take one, leave one kind of deal.
Like when they have the pennies at the gas station.
Yeah, exactly. Let me take back the thing I made when I was 15 years old. That record company recently joined venture forces with Scooter Braun, who she's not a fan of. She's felt bullied by for years. He works with other clients. He's friends with other people that she's felt slighted by. Scooter Braun is someone who manages a bunch of people like Demi Lovato, Justin Bieber,
Tori Kelly, CL.
Tori, let us know if you need us.
Everyone knows probably that I love CL. And he's her manager. And I'm like, did he fuck her up? Is he the reason
what's the
why
real
she's
story?
not out here, making stuff?
What's the real story?
Is he, finding people to bury them so he can focus on his top talent? And it's just, it puts all these conspiracy theories in my head.
Well, I don't know if he signed them to bury them, because I don't quite know what that phrase means. You mean, is that, what, can you translate for the children?
Was that
Bury?
New Jersey?
And bury?
coming out?
Well, it's a
Is
bird.
that, I didn't hear anything
Like
wrong.
burrow? I mean, I understand why you would say it like that now that I look at the words in front of me, but it doesn't actually make sense why we say berry.
Berry? Like
'Cause
sorry
we say
and
fury.
sorry?
We don't say Fieri unless you're Guy Fieri. I almost said R.I.P., but he's not dead. So Scooter Braun and the other... Oh, there's too many Scots, first of all. Let's just get that out of the way.
Scoots?
Too many Scots, too many Scoots. Never met a Scot or a Scoot that I like. I'll tell you that much right now.
Scooter from Scott?
Yeah, his name's Scott, that should tell you a lot about a person that's
Didn't
a grown
even
up
know.
going by Scooter. I got questions. Scooter and Scott decided to get together and join forces, $300 million deal. Taylor Swift comes out and says, this is my worst case scenario. Like, this person owning any part of my catalog that I don't have access to, the masters, is my actual nightmare. Bad blood between them. Taylor comes out with this statement.
You know, they got bad
blood. Taylor comes out with this statement, which I read, and I honestly was like, wow, okay, so fuck Scooter Braun. Like, and I'm not even Team Taylor. But you know what I am here for? Because here's the thing that it comes down to. We can give our opinions about things and like our feelings about certain people, whatever. None of that really matters, because what matters is a conversation about musicians in the industry. That's what I'm interested in, because I personally don't give a fuck how you feel, but I care how I feel. And how I feel as a musician is I don't think a record label or anyone should be able to own 100% of a master without there being a percentage buffered out for the original artist. I just don't. And Taylor's lucky that she wrote some of that shit, or if all that shit, and she is songwriting, whatever. So she has the royalties, but she also, she can decide because of publishing if those songs even get placed. So she technically could come in and say, I don't want any of my music ever on anything again, and try to like, dismantle the power that those masters have. But ultimately, anyone that streams or buys that music, the money is going to go back to the record label and Scooter Braun now. So the only way she could really counteract that is to re-record all of those songs and re-release them like JoJo did, because JoJo couldn't get any of her stuff back from when she was like 13. And this is another example why I just don't feel, especially artists that were signed under 18. I understand that record labels put a lot of stuff into it and blah, blah, blah. And for those of you who don't know, a lot of them like rack up charges and say like, this costs this, and I guess we don't owe you any money, when that really didn't cost that. And they really didn't put money into that. Like, if you're trusting record labels or people in the industry, don't. There are a lot of people in the music business, which by the way is a business that was created where men who aren't very talented at anything besides networking and facilitating come in and they prey on people that actually have artistic talent, but don't have the equity or the power perhaps to legally go back and forth. I just think that there needs to be things in place so that people can't sign underage artists and then if they're not writing, completely screw them out of every possible royalty, hold on to their catalog, hold on to their masters. Like, I get that you were part of making this artist, but you also aren't the artist. I just think there's not a lot of protection for people that are in the music industry that are actually doing music. While this comes out, Taylor says what she has to say. I immediately know that Scoot's Instagram's about to be fucked up.
He's scooting.
Everyone's getting doxxed. There are a few of his artists that come out and defend him or try.
Demi, I think.
Demi,
but she's
Lord.
new, right?
Demi just got signed to him.
So she doesn't even know.
And I don't know if Demi's paying off her contract by being his PR, but that bitch was in everyone's comments yesterday being like, I don't know you, boo. Hey, boo, I don't know you. But like, he likes LGBTQ people because he signed me, and like, he couldn't possibly hate gay people. Like, what? Demi, stop.
Did I not know she's queer in a way?
Yeah, I don't think you knew that.
Oh.
Tori Kelly is keeping the fuck quiet because she probably doesn't have that good of a deal. Justin Bieber comes out and does like this whole like public Instagram post to Taylor that's like, you know, we could, you know, I know that there's been some things between us and like, I shouldn't have posted that thing back in the day, but, you know, we should be able to talk to each other and like.
I mean, it's not his forte, which is, you know.
I don't quite know what his. I'm not gonna say it because there's some Justin Bieber songs that really I love. Are you okay? I wouldn't be able to save you if you choked.
I mean, he can sing.
I would like to apologize for posting that hurtful Instagram post. At the time, I thought it was funny. I had blah, 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 friends with Kanye, blah, blah, blah. Years have passed. What were you trying to accomplish by posting that blog? Seems to me like it was to get sympathy. You also knew that in posting that your fans would go and bully Scooter. Anyway, one thing I know is both Scooter and I love you. I feel like the only way to resolve conflict is through communication. I'm sure Scooter and I would love to talk to you. Are you his fucking business partner? What are you talking about? Scooter
and what does this
I would
have to do with you?
Scooter and I would love to talk to you.
Scooter
Shut the
and
fuck
I?
up. Get on a jet ski and go do anything else. What are you doing right now?
Why would Taylor Swift care about talking to Justin Bieber about owning her own?
Justin Bieber can barely give an interview without sounding out of his fucking mind. Girl, are you still locked in the house? Like, what kind of... What's the thing where like people fall in love with their captors?
Oh, something syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. That should be the name of Justin Bieber's next fucking album. Stockholm syndrome. I usually don't rebuttal things like this, but when you try and deface someone I love character, that's crossing a line. And a ... Bitch, okay. And an incorrect ellipses. Okay.
2 dots is nothing. 2 dots is nothing!
Here is the thing. You know what I noticed? Men only seem to give a fuck about their character being defamed and defaced and whatever other term when they've been doing shitty things. Let a woman say anything about how a man made her feel, and they're like, whoa, that's a low blow. That's too much. That's crossing a line. Okay, but all the other lines you crossed and all the ways that you made someone feel bullied, like you knew there was bad blood. You knew this was going to get a reaction. You got a reaction. Now, we have Biebs out here. We have Demi out here. We have Todrick, who came in, swooped in to defend Taylor and to say that he stopped working with Scooter Braun for a bunch of reasons, allegedly being homophobic and like not backing things. Now, I will say this as a side note, and I love Todrick's new music. The minute Todrick said something, I knew receipts were gonna come up. I just knew. I knew people were gonna come out of the woodwork and say he didn't pay me or whatever it was, because those are things that I've heard.
Oh, receipts about him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I thought you meant he came with receipts.
Oh, he
about
did too.
Scooter.
Well, no, everyone came out with their screen caps and their emails. But I feel like I had heard rumors of people not getting paid by Todrick doing things for free. This is also a rumor here about a lot of people in Los Angeles, so it's something I take to heart. But I think that the minute he came out, there were a lot of people posting like, I never got paid for this $500 for doing this thing, and who knows. And Todrick's talked about how he's had failed business ventures and how he had to like fund an $800,000 tour by himself. So I'm here, I empathize with everyone. Everyone get your contracts in order. Everyone get your contracts signed. You know, we're all learning lessons today. So I knew that was gonna get messy. Scoot, whatever the other one is.
Respond?
The label took out the front page of their website to release a statement wherein the other Scoot...
Wait, hold on, there are 2 Scoots?
There's a Scott and a Scooter. Scott was the one that owned the record label. Scooter came in and they go 50-50 now. Or he bought the record label or whatever he did.
Please, we gotta diversify the names.
Diversify the names, but also stop empowering your children to go by nicknames that sound like, I don't know, transportation. Just a thought. Like Scoot and Sea-Doo over here.
And you know what?
I don't
Scooters
know.
got big in recent years. Birds,
It's
we got
unfortunate.
whatever
I would
the other
rather you
one's
name
called.
your child Bird. Bird is a cute name. That's adorable. Birdie. Birdie's an actual name. So they took out the front page of whatever, and they basically, and the other managers and the thing were coming after Taylor, and they were saying, you had the option to buy your masters back. Now I'm reading this story, and it's basically like, you knew that Scooter was gonna buy the masters or buy whatever, and you had like 3 days to figure it out. What? What? In what world? And
I want to know the full context.
First of all, the fact that Iggy Azalea came out and talked about this and made sense, and I have to defend what Iggy Azalea has said, is just next level. But Iggy Azalea came out and was talking about how, no, if you're talking about 3 days before a deal is going to be announced, the deal is done. And that is true. There's no one just like within 12 hours. And people are saying, he said, basically he also was like, oh, you're lying because you said that you woke up to the news like everyone else. But I texted you the night before.
Imagine you're just...
What?
And then, I have my music is...
Oh, all my music is getting announced to be sold today, which means it's already...
Scooter... Oh, good.
Oh, my bully.
Cool.
Cool. How would you react to that? Scooter Braun's wife's coming out with a post. Casey Musgraves like that post. People are upset. They're like the last day of Pride.
Oh, no, I saw that.
They're like the last day of Pride. How dare Casey?
No,
Like,
Casey. I
the
mean,
mess. If you don't care about celebrities, you're like, I don't understand anything that's happening. But here,
I know.
Let me break it down
it's
for
because
you.
I'm a recent stan. You know, like I love her. So her doing something that fucks me up.
I mean, look.
Forgot about that detail.
The reality is that we don't know the details. We will never know the details. But here's what it comes down to. It doesn't really matter what we think is going on or like what we think, how we think someone should react to something. If Taylor feels like this person has bullied her and dismantled her career and is just like a name that when it comes up just fucking gives her hives, I relate to that.
Valid.
I relate to that as someone who is like literally run into at events that he was speaking at, the person that assaulted me, or people that have like screwed me over that I've had to sit next to and act like I don't want to fucking just scream at them. I get it. Imagining someone owning a part of music they didn't create that I made when I was 16.
Like imagine one of those people owning all of your music.
It's such a great business decision and it's such a shady, immoral fucking thing. Because at the end of the day, I get people have like screwed over other artists by buying their catalog from them. I mean, we can look at what Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. So it's like people will screw other artists over and it's like a great business decision because you own that. But I just think, especially for artists that are still living, there needs to be a buffer cut out for masters. I just think it should be illegal.
It doesn't make sense to me, you know, how that could even make sense as like a...
Well, it makes sense because men created the music business to be trash.
Yeah, but like if you look at it like from the outside, you're like, well, shouldn't she own her own shit? Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, you would think that, but this is what record labels do. This is why every artist everyone that we've known that got signed to a deal within 3 years came out and was like, I wrote 40 songs and none of them ever came out because they held it hostage and then I had to... It's like people creating things and then having to leave their children behind to fucking survive. It's such a messed up industry that is so intent on really like undermining and devaluing the most artistic people, the people who create, for people who just like slip something in a contract and put in perpetuity there. And I will always believe criticism of business shit going on because I've seen it with my own two eyes, how people will try to screw other people over in this industry. And that's at a lower level. I can't even imagine.
I just had a moment of clarity.
Everyone's getting sued. Just keep an eye out for the artists that are working. I hope Ariana Grande kept her masters. I hope, you know what, part of me thinks that Ariana Grande is creating these like albums so quickly as a way to get out of her shit.
Wow.
Why is she dropping these albums like
wow.
overnight?
Okay, listen, I hate conspiracy theories, but that one makes sense.
Do you think, here's a thought,
Ooh.
not to undermine how incredible touring can be and how artists like do love to perform. Do you think after going through a lot of tragedy that someone would want to do back to back tours? Maybe it's part of their processing, but it's also like, it's a lot of work to do a tour. And so my question is like, I always ask this, do you think that your artists are doing back-to-back tours exhaustively and just like have no time? They're like they're in the studio, they're not sleeping, they're doing this. Do you think that that's because they love doing that? Or do you think that that's the only way they can make money? Because their masters have been sold, they didn't write the entirety of their songs, if any of their songs, and so they are basically kind of being forced to do the one thing that might sustain them, which is tour.
We're making...
Because in your head, you think of some of these artists. Like, think of like the Taylor Swifts or the Ariana Grandes or the Justin Biebers or whoever. It's like if you had created this legacy and you had made all this stuff, but you couldn't take a month off to just decompress and to create without the stress. No wonder Rihanna doesn't do music anymore. It's like this kind of rat race that people keep you in. And then I think a lot of that is because these contracts aren't good, and the only way some of these artists can even make any money is to go out every night and tour.
We need an overhaul of the whole music industry.
Agree.
Because that's a big yikes.
Look, the number of stories you hear about musicians that had great record deals and just felt supported and created the content they wanted and owned some part of it so that they could retire at some point and pass their legacy on to their children are very, very few. And the number of stories you hear about musicians that were taken advantage of and held hostage for like 3, 4, 5, 10 years and then never got their original music back, much, much higher. So I'm not Team Taylor, but I'm also I'm here for artists. I'm here for artists.
If it makes sense, it makes sense.
And you know what? I hope J Beebs over here owns his masters. I hope Demi owns some common goddamn sense. And I hope Tori only signed like a 2-album deal, because but here's the thing, it's not like there's anyone better. It's not like there's a sea of people that are just like great
honest
to work with and honest, because they're all in this industry, which is trash. So I'm here to overhaul the whole system, and it is one of the reasons that it disheartens me to do music stuff, because you just have all these people that want to use you for something that you created for yourself, and then they want to cut you out of it. Fuck all that. Anyone that's bidding on a master should only be able to own like 80% of a master. I just don't think that anyone should be able to own 100% of something that they didn't fucking create. Even if it's a small, tiny little chunk carved out. If you're my enemy and you buy my master, you doing well with that master is gonna help me. So you're always, even though we're connected and we don't want to be connected, your success is my success. So do you really want to make that fucking purchase now? Although people would buy their masters and hold them hostage probably anyways and use that to screw people over because they don't care. So people with too much money, men with too much money, playing for things that they didn't create, and Flint still doesn't have clean water. Let's not lie to ourselves and pretend that Taylor Swift hasn't been one of the biggest artists in the past decade, and that music probably single-handedly held that fucking record label up, and the least you could do was give her more than 48 fucking hours to decide if she wants to buy back her old music. So Taylor, I hope that since you have the publishing rights, you fuck all of them on placing your old music, and then you re-record the music so that fuck their masters, make it better and now, and re-release it on streaming if you want to do streaming. And own all of it. Fuck record labels,
Fuck 'em.
dude. Honestly. I'm stressed. That's me. That's how I feel every time one of these artists is like, no, I swear he was never that because he hasn't been it to me. Okay. No, you really, if you want to come talk to us, you should come talk to us. That's crossing a line. All right.
This is me.
Oh no,
As
don't
Scooter
do it.
Braun.
Don't do it. Classic Scoot. We need to give a little love.
We do.
A little love to our Patreon BBs.
Get into these beats.
The reason we don't have to sign with a shitty record label is because we have signed ourselves to you. Also, this is a great time to become a Patreon BB because we just crossed one of our milestones, and that means that we have to Facetune each other in a video, which the full version will be available to Patreon BBs, and we might do little snippets here and there, but now's the time to get in if you want to see it. Hello, Satan, Dark Prince, Father Lord. I just want to remind you that because of your patronage this month, I have given my soul over to you.
Thank you so much to Joan. She's really cleaning up around here.
Jeremy Shaw, my favorite piece of trash. Thank you for donating to us.
Elijah Lanahan, thank you so much. You're a reflection of everything that's good in the world.
Pretty sure that's just trash water, but... Shannon Lemon, I chose this rotten lemon because it reminded me of you. Thanks for being a Patreon, BB.
Heather Snitch. Faraloides. Thanks for not snitching on our asses. We appreciate it. We want to give a to Jessica Riddle.
Ooh, Jessica, riddle me that.
we also want to have a... Oh, wait, not a... I fucked up already.
You're in charge of this, so I don't know
I
what.
know.
Help me.
Because we got to... We're doing it. We're dipping in here.
Nikki.
Joanna Wilhelmina.
Wow, Joanna Wilhelmina Models.
Hey, Sammy Sue.
Sammy Sue Sosa.
DeVince Alvarado.
DeVince, I want to paint the Sistine Chapel. I forgot the last name.
Alvarado. Lawrence Colden.
Lawrence, it's so cold in here.
Burr.
Burr.
Sebastian Whitaker.
Sebastian, my favorite little under the sea. Is it a crab or is it a lobster?
Who knows? Whitaker.
Whitaker.
Martine Hubert.
I want a little Martine.
In my Hubert. Wyatt Eaton.
Wyatt Eaton, my heart from my chest.
Roberto XS.
Roberto 3XL XS.
AJ Avicilla.
AJ, I just want to tell you about a magazine called Real Simple and how you can wake up with more energy, Avicilla.
Tamara Moongraves.
Tamara, the only bitch that cares about me, Moongraves.
Sam Brodeur.
Sam, it's too much, brother.
MK Zavader.
MK Twitch bitch Zavader.
Evan Blue.
Evan's so blue without you.
Stephanie. Chelsea Strong.
Chelsea Strong, arm the way to my heart.
Pam Gallegos.
Pam, I want to tell you about your Lord Jesus Christ, your Savior, Gallegos.
And William Harvey.
William say no shit, Harvey.
And we also want to give a thank you to all the BBs you see on the screen, BBs you don't see who are ghost BBs. If you would
Boo.
like to become a BB, you can go to patreon.com/whatasweetfuck.
You can do that, and I prefer you do that. Give us your money, and we'll give you joy. Give me your energy, and I'll give you... No, just give me your money. Don't give me your energy.
I just sound like an old man who
You are
just
an
choked
old
on
man.
a cigar.
Well, can't imagine what else you're choking on. It always comes back to a dick joke.
It does. I'm here for it. You can find me most places at Soundly Awake and also another episode over on my channel because we do 2 of these each week.
Your faves could never, consistently. I'm Meghan Tonjes. You can find me Meghan Tonjes. You're already here, so why don't you subscribe? Hit that notification ass bell. And then when you hit that notification ass bell, remind them that you want to see always, not occasional.
Oh, fuck
and
yeah.
then make sure that you like the video. And then maybe also like add it to a favorite, add it to a playlist. And then like if you could click the share button, but like share it to your Twitter, that would be amazing.
And then if you ever see it in your homepage and you already watched it, just click it and watch it again all the way through with all of the ads.
All the ad breaks. Yeah, don't click out. Just like let it go. Just like click into a playlist, turn your sound off, and just let it. If you wanted to allegedly do that,
You
that
know,
would be cool.
just allegedly. We want to just allegedly enhance the algorithm in our favor.
Yeah, I want you to see more of my shit because it deserves to be seen.
And the more you click it, the more
If you click it, we will come. It's a Field of Dreams reference. Kevin Costner, you've upset the dog. Margot. Margot, what's wrong with Nikki? Did he scare you? Did he scare you? Oh, my baby dog.
Goodbye.
I hate when people talk to me. Just like my photo and stop sending me weird shit. Just leave me alone. It's just so much. Like, I don't care, dude. I don't know how to express to you that I don't care. What I do care is about how annoying it is.